I'm here to do mine and Miss Ginevra's birth story. She's here. I showed you, but she's fast asleep in her rocking play over there. So I don't want to disturb her. So I'm going to get right into it because it's a lot of detail, because I'm also going to give you our NICU experience with her. So this all started the week of my baby shower, which was supposed to be on August 5th, August 2nd. That whole week I kept telling Michael that I felt like something was going to happen to disrupt or postpone or cancel my baby shower. Michael kept going, no, you're fine. Nothing's going to happen. You're stressed out. Don't worry about it. It'll be fine. August 2nd, which was Wednesday, that day was fine. I was a little uncomfortable that day. Nothing major, nothing crazy. I was cleaning that day in preparation for the baby shower that weekend, because it was supposed to be here at my home. So I've been cleaning that day and reorganizing and decluttering and just crazy nesting that day, which should have been a sign to me. Michael got ready for work and he looked at me. He was like, babe, I think I'm going to call off tonight. I was like, no, go to work. We need the money for to buy Jenny's car seat and to finish paying for vacation. Go to work, it's fine. Nothing's going to happen. I'm going to clean and watch a movie and rest. Not a big deal. So he gets ready, goes to work. He actually went in an hour early that day. So I was cleaning, turned on a movie. I think it was Mean Girls that I turned on because it was playing on Freeform. Turned that on, sat down to eat some donuts because we'd went and got pizza and donuts for dinner that night because pregnant craving them. So we got those. I sat down and was eating some donuts. I went to go stand up to go get more donuts when I felt pop and then just the sudden gush of water. And at first I'm like, I just peed myself. That's crazy. But then I was like, the pop is weird. And I couldn't stop the gush of water. And it went all over my couch, all over my floor. I made this trail back to the bathroom. I sat down and it still kept gushing. So I was like, okay, my water broke. So I immediately started panicking. I cleaned myself up real quick, threw on some clothes, called Michael, and for some reason he answered. He never answers because they're not allowed to answer their phone. They're not even allowed to have their phones on the floor, but he keeps his on him. He answered his phone. He was actually in a truck unloading. He answered, and I told him, I was like, I think my water broke. And I had to say it like 2 or 3 times before he's like, I'm coming. Hung up from him. He took off running through the plant. And while he was getting out of there, I tried to throw together a hospital bag, but my brain wasn't working, so I just said screw it and grabbed the couple things that I knew I'd want right away, which was my wallet, my phone charger. I made sure I had those things. Michael called me back, wanted to know how I was doing, and I was panicking because I was 33 weeks and 4 days. It was too soon, it was too early. I was terrified. I was afraid that something was wrong because I was beginning to realize that I hadn't felt her kick or move in the past couple hours, so that worried me. So Michael called my best friend who lives like 10 minutes from me to come get me and take me to the hospital because he's a 45-minute drive from my house, let alone another 20 to the hospital. So she came and got me, took me down there. She asked me, are you having contractions? And I said, no, I don't feel anything, but my stomach would get really tight, but I wasn't really feeling it. We get to the hospital and that's when I started feeling contractions. And I wasn't timing them or nothing, so I couldn't tell you. At that point, my pain was maybe like a 4 is what they hurt. They were uncomfortable but bearable. We got to the hospital and she's like, are we gonna go up here and they tell you just pee your pants? And I was like, no, because I stood up from her car and her whole front car seat was soaked. My pants were soaked again, and I was leaving a trail from the ER parking lot up to the labor and delivery triage. Filled out paperwork. By the time I was done filling out paperwork, Michael arrived, which was I was thanking God at that point because I was terrified that something was going to happen and he was going to get held up. So they move me back to a triage room. I get changed and I leave a trail from the front of triage to that room to the bathroom triage where I changed into a hospital gown to the bed. So I had several nurses and doctors coming in asking me questions, wanting to know how far along I was, where I was, what I was doing when my water broke, all these things. So they did an ultrasound, checked on her, she was fine, got the heart rate monitor on her, her heart rate was perfect, got the contraction monitor on me and noticed that I was having contractions. So they gave me a steroid shot for her lungs, which hurt so bad I wanted to die. Checked me and everything, and I was already at a 3 when we got there. My water broke at around 7:30, and by the time we got to the hospital and they checked me and I was a 3, and I think it was like 8:39. So I was definitely in labor. They were moving me to labor and delivery. They weren't going to add any Pitocin or anything they were just going to let me labor naturally to see how long it took, because the longer she stayed, the better off she would have been. But while they were moving me to labor and delivery, Michael ran home to grab my hospital bag and anything that I would need. It was mostly packed. I was going to finish packing it that night, finish mine and Michael's stuff, because her bag was already packed. They moved me over, got me all situated, got my IV. They gave me went ahead and gave me antibiotics because I didn't even get a chance to do my group B strep with my doctor. So they went ahead and gave me the antibiotics just to be on the safe side. And I started laboring. Michael came back to the hospital and started laboring. I got my epidural around midnight. Midnight was when it was to the point where it was unbearable. I couldn't take it anymore. It hurt. I was having a hard time breathing through them. I had to get an epidural. Gave me my epidural. It totally numbed me on my right side. I couldn't feel anything, but I was still feeling stuff on my left side, which was torture. So they brought the anesthesiologist back in and he upped it. And I was totally numb on both sides. I could still feel slight pressure on my right side, like right where my ovaries are. I could feel it there, but that was it. And she kept telling me, if you feel pressure, let me know. Because with an epidural, I don't feel anything. I don't feel pressure, nothing. I told her that. I was like, I normally don't feel pressure. But I was feeling that weird pressure there. So she checked me at, I'm pretty sure it was 2. She checked me. And I was a 6. So she's like, I'll come back in about 2 hours, check you again. Well, she came back in around 3:15, I want to say. No, it was 3:10. She came back in and she asked how I was doing, if I needed anything. I was like, well, I'm feeling this weird pressure here. She's like, well, let me check you just to be on the safe side. The main reason she came in is because Jenny had moved to the point where they weren't picking up her heartbeat on the monitor. She had moved down so low that they couldn't get it. So she came back in to readjust that and check me, and she came in and checked me and realized that I was already at 10 within that hour, an hour that she had checked me. So she ran out and came back in with a whole horde of people, doctors and nurses and the NICU team and just everybody. So, and started getting me ready to push. So I think I pushed for maybe 5 minutes at the most, and Miss Ginevra Everly Rose Honaker was born at 3:21 a.m. She came out and immediately started crying, which was a relief because her being almost 7 weeks early, I was really worried about her lung development. And she immediately peed all over the doctor. She's whisked over to the NICU team who assessed her, and I was allowed to briefly hold her for about 3 minutes before they whisked her upstairs. I ended up having to get I tore twice in 2 different spots, so I had to get stitches, which sucked. delivering the placenta hurt because I was busy watching her, looking at her, when I heard the doctor go, "This is gonna hurt," and he pushed down real hard on my stomach and it shot out. So, funny thing with her, when I delivered her, Michael, my friend Tabitha, the doctors, the nurses all said that it was basically, she literally popped out of me. Like, it legit made the sound. And that sound is what it felt like when she exited my body. So that is the weirdest feeling ever. Ever. So, they got me all situated and started getting filling back to my legs so that I could be moved to my recovery room over in mother baby unit. Once we got over there and got all situated, they told us to give the NICU about an hour and that we could call and see if we could go up and see her. We gave them an hour. We went up and seen her. When you get pregnant, you don't expect that you're going to deliver your baby early, and you don't expect to have to need the NICU. I'm grateful that it was there, but you don't expect to have to need it. And you expect to be pregnant and at the end of this have a happy, healthy baby that you can immediately hold in your arms. And that you can immediately snuggle and kiss and hold. You don't expect to have to see your baby in this plastic box that is helping regulate their temperature and helping attach to wires that is monitoring their heart rate and their breathing rate, and a machine that's helping them breathe in an IV. And a feeding tube, and you don't expect all that. And the reality of the NICU didn't officially hit me until I was discharged and I had to leave, but she had to stay. Seeing her for the first time, I thought I was going to lose it, but I didn't. I was fine while I was still a patient at the hospital and would get to go to see her. I went and seen her every couple of hours. I'd go see her for an hour, and then I'd go back to my room to pump and eat, and then I'd go back and see her, and then I'd go back to my room and pump and eat until nighttime, and then I'd sleep, and then I'd go. Last time I'd see her is like 10 o'clock at night, and I'd go back the next morning at 8. But leaving her in the NICU, leaving her in the hospital, hang on. Alright, I'm good. Maybe I'll probably cry again. I'm very thankful that she was delivered at a hospital that has a NICU readily available, and that she didn't need to be transferred anywhere else, that she was just 2 floors above me at all times while I was in the hospital. Like I said, the day that I was discharged was probably one of the hardest days. I think I cried the whole way home. But yeah, she stayed in the NICU for 19 days. She had a CPAP machine helping her breathe. She had an IV, a feeding tube, heart rate monitors, a breathing monitor, and she was in the little isolette that was regulating her temperature. Every day she improved more and more and more. When she was first up there, we were told that she had gotten pneumonia from something that she swallowed into her lungs, and that she was going to be on antibiotics for 7 to 10 days because of that. She came off the antibiotics 3 days early, and a nurse actually told us that it was not pneumonia, that we were told wrong by a doctor, nonetheless, that it was just a pocket of fluid and they treat it like pneumonia just in case. She slowly started weaning off everything. I think the first thing to go was her, I want to say her CPAP. The CPAP went first, then the IV was gone first, and then the temperature monitor, and then her CPAP, and then her feeding tube, and she was moved from the isolette to a regular open air crib, and then she was moved to the open air crib, and then she figured out her feeds, and her feeding tube was gone, and then we got to bring her home. But those were the longest 19 days of my life. I'll have my blog linked below because it has all the updates that I made of her while she was in there. I made daily updates of her and included pictures of her while she was there. I'm also going to be doing another video on my emotions through all that and now. But we had some amazing nurses that cared for her while we couldn't. But it is the hardest thing in the world, having nurses tell you how to take care of your baby, having nurses tell you how to touch your baby, where to touch your baby, not being able to dress your baby, having to ask to hold your baby. I mean, she was I think she was 10 days old the day that I got to hold her for the first time. And I pray I never have to experience that again. So, anyway, she got to come home when she was 19 days old. Tomorrow, Tuesday, she'll be home for officially 2 weeks, which has been the best 2 weeks of my life. I mean, this past month has been the best month of my life with her here, but these past 2 weeks of having her home and being able to get into a routine with her is the best. So, I was exclusively pumping. As soon as she was born, I started pumping breast milk every 3 hours. I would pump and take to her. I recently stopped pumping because she started eating more than I was producing, and I was exhausted. Like, my plans of exclusively breastfeeding her until she was a year old just went out the window. This lighting is killing me. Went out the window when she was put in the NICU. So that journey was cut short, and I'm emotionally dealing with it. And yeah, but she's happy, she's healthy now, she's growing. She's still in preemie clothes and preemie diapers, and she probably will be for a while. But yeah, that is our birth story. I will quickly show you all her, and that'll be it for this video. She's asleep. She's such a good little girl. So, but that is all for this video. The very next video up will be her 1 month update, so make sure you look out for that one. I'm also going to be filming her nursery tour here soon. And other than that, I think that's about it. Oh, I'll be doing a what's in my diaper bag video as well. But other than that, that's it. Make sure you check out our vlogging channel, where you'll get to see her cute face every day, along with Presley and myself and Michael. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you all next time. Bye.